What's up, y'all? So this is kind of an updated video. I figured it's kind of appropriate as we near the end of the year. This is how to convert a CKPT to a safetensor file. In my previous video, what you see here, I used a Hugging Face interface, but it seems to be down and I couldn't find a way to do it. I don't know programming, I don't know coding, so it took a lot of trial and error and skimming through like Reddit accounts and it came down to me using a combination of like ChatGPT and Bard to kind of assist me through the entire process. So I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible for you guys so you can be up and running as well and be able to do this locally on your machine. So a big shout out to this GitHub right here, and I'll put a link to this in the description, but they have various codes here you can utilize, and I'm also going to try to make this in one text document so you don't necessarily need to kind of keep going back and forth to this, but what you'll need is this convert.py file. It's a Python file, and using this code. So I've already done this, but I'm going to do it one more time, well actually a few more times, just to kind of show you how this works. But I'm going to be using the version to create a safetensor, so it's going to be this code right here, which I'm going to be utilizing. So I'm going to hop over in Bard so you can kind of see the long conversation thread. So utilizing Google's Bard, I actually had to go through and this whole long back and forth on how to get this thing to work. I mean, I ended up converting an old model of mine and it worked. It took a lot of trial and error, but I'll show you how to do that right now. Before I get too far into it, what I'm going to be converting in this example is going to be this cartoon model that I have available on Civit AI. So as you can see, it's an older checkpoint model, this kind of style, and then I have the 10,000. These are corresponding with the training steps that I took to actually make these things. But they're both CKPT files, and most of the time now people want, pruned safetensor versions. So we can do this pretty easily once everything is set up. And I say that with a grain of salt because setting it up can be a pain. So once you download the convert file, I would save it on the desktop. So I have mine just right here. It's just convert.py, and you can see the Python script that's being implemented in this version to convert it to a safetensor. And again, in that GitHub, there's different variations, and I'm gonna copy that code all at the bottom here too in this text document for you guys. So here's the conversation I had with Bard, and it broke it down into simple terms, or at least as simple as I can make it. And you can see the previous example that I had. So this is the model that I used, and I'll leave it in here for the example so you can kind of see how that works. And you're only going to have to change a few things around. The main thing that's going to be a pain in the butt is to make sure that you have all the basics installed first. So for me, it was trying to figure out how to install PyTorch and making sure I had the right version. And it took a lot of trial and error. So Google Bard, for that example, really helped out with like, this is what you need, try this is what you need. And like every error that I kept coming across, I would just ask it like, hey, so I got this error code, how do I fix it? And it kind of walked me through all those steps. So the main thing you're going to need is just to make sure you have like PyTorch installed. Also make sure that you don't have any firewalls blocking anything, or any like ad blocker or antivirus or malware blocking apps that may be stopping from any installs that you may need for this particular setup here. I had to like temporarily disable stuff just to get things working. Like my VPN was going kind of crazy, not allowing me to download stuff. So it took a while to get everything installed. And I'm not going to walk through all of installing PyTorch because there's various versions and you have to find the one that matches your system. In the how-to document itself, it will give you a link, as it says in step 3. You can kind of skip that step if you already have this done, but check that you have PyTorch installed correctly. In terminal, it shows you what commands to use, and if you don't have it, go to the official site. So in the site, you will see pytorch.org. You can choose what system you have, the package that you're trying to install, computing platforms. For whatever reason, mine was just giving me the hardest time to try to get this thing to work. and I actually ended up having to use an older version. So I got to that by going to pytorch.org, and then there was a couple links I had to click through, but the previous versions. So here are some older versions, and this seemed to work for me. For whatever reason, the new one just didn't function, and I ended up using the top one on here for the previous versions. So it installs whatever it needs to install, and then it finally worked. So once you have that installed, we can finally get started in Terminal. So in Terminal, of course, your computer is going to be called something else. You know, I just have it under me and the ProtoArt. So what you're going to first do is copy the files to your desktop. So whatever model you're trying to convert, that CKPT file, make sure it's on your desktop. And then you also want to make sure that you have the convert.py file, that the Python script, saved to your desktop. And again, because I'm converting it to a safetensor, I'm using this particular script. So if you're trying to convert it to these different formats, you're going to have to utilize a different script. Copy the CD desktop. So we'll copy the CD, or actually you can type in the CD space desktop. I would type it in, because copying it, sometimes you may get like an error if you have like a space in there that's not supposed to be there. But copy and paste it. So now it's directing it, hey, look at the desktop, essentially. So from here, again, since I already have this already done, I can skip this step and then go into the convert model. So as it says here, execute the conversion command in Terminal, copy and paste the following command, blah, 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 blah. So this was the model that I originally used. So this is kind of like the format of how it would, the code, right? So then replacing your file with this name, essentially this is what it would look like right here. So whatever your username is, and then the desktop, and then the model name, and all you're swapping out is basically this section here, and then your name. So you're going to copy this code right here. And again, this will all be in the text document. I'll probably even put this in the description below. So you're going to copy that code and the correct model name. So because I'm doing a different model, I'm going to swap out that name. So for this one, I'm converting this cartoon CKPT thing here. So I'm going to replace this here with the cartoon underscore whatever. Again, it's whatever the name is of your model, and make sure you have that space there, and don't change that. So otherwise you'll get some errors. So once that's done, you just copy that code. Again, the longest process is going to be making sure that you have all the previous things installed. So all the PyTorch and like whatever Python version you have installed, that's gonna be the longest process, and I'm not gonna walk you through that because you're gonna have to find what version works for your computer. So I'm sorry, but you're gonna just have to use like ChatGPT or Google Bard like I did, and kind of help you walk through that stuff. But once you have that done, again, I'm gonna paste this code in now and then press enter, and you'll see how fast this thing actually works. Like the process once it's all done is crazy, and it's done. That took less than a couple seconds. So now you'll see down here, here's the original CKPT file of it. Sorry, this one right here. And then we have the safetensor version right above it. I'm going to open Diffusionbee and then run this model. So I'll go back to the original model on Civet AI. So I'll copy the same prompt in Civet AI into Diffusionbee, and it should give me the same image. So I have the same prompt, and now I just need to import that model. So we'll go to Models, Import from Computer. Then I chose my safetensor file, pressed Import, and it should take a little second here for it to actually import it. And I've been busy making a lot of models, and it's done. That was really, really fast. So now if I go on the very bottom here, you'll see the pruned version of this model. So when I hit generate, I'm gonna make a few of these just to make sure. So now I should see a very, very similar image to the original. So this is very exciting. So again, if you have old models like I did, And just a couple months ago, unfortunately, my hard drive crashed and I had a ton of really cool stuff I was really hoping to release. But they're gone. There's no recovering them. But I wanted to convert them. So I have like a handful left to convert. And I'm doing that now. So let's look at the original while this goes. So here's a side-by-side of the original. So on the left is from Civet AI. This is the CKPT version. And this is the pruned version that we just made now, or the safe tensor for those who are brand new to this stuff. So CKPT files, think of it like a zip file. It has like a lot of information in the thing, and then when you're making it to like a safe tensor, it's kind of in the name, it makes it safer. It kind of gets rid of functions that could potentially hide malicious code. It's kind of like unzipping that package, getting rid of any unnecessary stuff, so it's just the material you need. So that's what this safe tensor is. It's the same model, it's just safer to use for everybody out there. So you can see now it's completely functioning how it should. It's the same model, same look, same style. So yeah, again, I'll provide as much information as I can in the description below. And this is an updated version of how to convert these files. And again, I can't walk you through all the things you'll need to install on your computer, because you may have some of this already installed. You might already have Python. You might already have like most of the necessities there. So this is just like the final step once it's all ready to go. So just to kind of show you that it does what it says it does, as I showed you here, I'll do one more file. Again, just following these instructions. The only part you need to change, again, is your username and what the file is called once you have everything installed correctly. So I'm going to do that here. So I'm going to import that one. Oops, undo. There you go. So just change the name out. Everything else is still the same. And again, we're going to copy that first little code here. So the CD desktop, it's basically telling it, hey, look at the desktop for this stuff. Hit enter. Again, we already have that installed. So now we just have to copy this last code here with the name changed. So copy the Python script, paste it, hit enter. And just in a couple seconds here, this is in real time, it already looks like it finished. And yeah, it just made the model right now. So now on my desktop, I have the Colorful Glow original CKPT file, and now I have the safe tensor version. So again, back in Diffusionbee. And the reason, again, I'm doing this is because I'm using Diffusionbee. Other tools out there like Automatic 1111 and like draw things may not necessarily need this stuff, but in Diffusionbee you can merge a model with a LoRa, and it needs to be a safe tensor for its base model. So I wasn't able to do it with old CKPT files. So we go into models, import, found my Colorful Glow model here. Now it's loading. It's going to take a little minute for that to go. Shouldn't take too long though. It's the prune version. Just a couple seconds here. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see, and it should be done any old second here. Boom, there we go. So now under my models on the very bottom, the brand new one that just loaded, Colorful Glow. So I'm going to keep all the same settings and hit generate here. I'm going to make sure I don't have anything. I'll put like not safe for work, because sometimes some crazy stuff pops up and we don't want to have any of that here on YouTube. So just making sure we're all good to go here for any kids that may be watching this video as well. So this only takes a couple seconds because I have the step count really low and the resolution set pretty low, you know, by the default 5x12. Yeah, so play around with this. Let me know what you think. Try out some of these other scripts. Again, I don't need to convert it to different file formats for what I need, but there are these ones available for you. So again, you can convert to an EMMA only. You can convert it to a What are the options here? But yeah, you just have a few different options you can convert stuff to. Yeah, and it looks like you convert stuff. Okay, I'll have to play around with some of those, but I don't need those. So anyway, here's the glow. I'll wait for one more to go here. Hopefully it's nothing crazy. There we go. But you can see here, it converted perfectly well. Everything functions how it's supposed to. And I'm hoping that brings some joy to your end of the year here. So try this out, y'all. Appreciate y'all. I appreciate you watching. I'm almost at, let's see here. Wow, I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. And, you know, it's been a little journey here. I wasn't sure on what I wanted this channel to be. I've been doing a lot of different things on this channel. I've had art tutorials, I had audio stuff, I had all kinds of how-to videos and live drawing and airbrushing, and honestly, just because I do so much random stuff, I've been trying to figure out what I wanted to focus on this, you know, what this channel should be. And like a lot of people seem to be gravitating towards AI stuff for obvious reasons because it's super popular right now. But you guys have been rocking with me since day one, and I really appreciate that. So if you're brand new to this channel, again, I appreciate you watching. If you've been here for a while, I appreciate you coming back and checking out new stuff. And I will continue to try to post as often as I can. It's just been kind of a crazy year for everybody, and yeah, just trying to like make sure I manage my time correctly and be able to find that creative outlet still had been tricky for a while. So yeah, so wanted to wrap this year up on a high note and some fun goodies for you. So not only a way to convert old files again, but having a whole bunch of models for you guys to play around with. So a lot of these are updated, and there are a lot more than 54 models because like it only counts each little tab here as like one. So within these, there's all kinds of variations. Some I still haven't quite updated and uploaded just yet, but there's, you know, like I'll have the model, I'll have the safetensor version of it. Some of them have like small LoRa versions of them. I'm updating as I go along. So this is like the BJ Dale version. I have one that looks like stickers where it gives you like this hard outline and kind of like a really good vector art look to it. And yeah, just there's a ton of variety in here. There's different art styles. I love traditional art, so a lot of these are based around that stuff. I know I'm going on this long tangent, but like I wanted to kind of tell you what's going on here, what I've been up to. One of my favorite artists had passed away recently, but Kim Jung-gi, I wanted to do some of his art, kind of some justice here. If you've ever seen his art, it looks incredible. He did these amazing like live paintings with like a brush pen and just made it look so effortless, but he had these really detailed, complex things. So I tried to train a couple models on this style. I know some other people on here have done similar things, and they have their own like kind of unique look to them. I have to give some more examples of this one, but yeah, this one like kind of captured his style pretty well and has like a good variety. But you can see like within each one of those like tabs, each one of these models, there's different ones. There's different versions. Some I've trained for a different amount of time. Some I've merged with different LoRa's. There's combinations of different LoRa's models I made previously that are combined into brand new ones. So you see like these hybrid models. For example, if I scroll down a bit, there's this, there's a lot of them, but like I had merged like 4 different models to give me this like sketchbook look, as well as like digital art. I don't know how to describe it. Like it just has this gritty grain to it, which I really loved. There's a chibi model merged with that sketch model, and yeah, it's just like a lot of combinations. I created different styles for, again, different traditional stuff like watercolor painting, I'm still trying to figure out how to do a few different things to, well, I'll keep that for a later time, but I'm working on some stuff. But yeah, so like pencil drawings and a couple different, just a variety of styles, y'all. So you can see a merge of like my chibi model. So this is like the chibi merged with a monster model, merged with what I called the floating head. I don't know why I called it that, but it was like this model here. So it was like the floating head, and this was actually a merge of some other stuff too. But there's like a good combination of different stuff blended together. So the last couple ones I'm working on right now to kind of revamp and update are this transparent one. This is an older one, but it kind of gave you like X-ray kind of look to images. And then I had like a manga style. And I think I overfitted this one. Basically, you're training it. That you have to play around with like learning rates and stuff. I don't want to overwhelm you guys, but like just I didn't train that one properly, so it's like I have to either remake that model, which I don't even know if I have the original data set because all my stuff got deleted, or I don't know. But yeah, I've been busy updating quite a bit of these models. So if you haven't checked out my Civet AI, again, that link's always below. And I'm been trying to update all these before the year's over, and it's been a lot of work. So kind of a comparison of what the updates have been doing here. So on the left is like the original, which looked fine. And then on the right, I merged it with some other LoRa's that kind of gave it more detail. So it gave it more like a cat look, and some better examples are for like hair and stuff. Like some of those details got brought out a lot more. But okay, on that note, I think I will actually wrap it up here for sure, for real this time, and talk to you all soon. So be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below on what you'd like to see me cover next. I know Procreate has Procreate Dreams. I'm not big on animation, all like that. Like, I mean, I love it, but that's not one of my skill sets. It's very time consuming to do, but as technology keeps advancing, maybe it'll become a lot easier. But yeah. All right, y'all. Have a good one, and I will see you in 2024.